The knock came again. 3 slow taps, deliberate and patient. Tunde froze, every nerve in his body straining toward the door of the motel room. The power had gone out moments before, cutting the desk lamp, the fan, and the thin thread of comfort in the air. Now only the faint orange glow of a street lamp filtered through the window blinds, striping the room with shadows. He reached silently under the bed and drew out the small, rusted revolver Kaitenge had given him that afternoon, just in case. Tunde didn't know how to shoot, not really, but the weight of the gun gave him courage. "Who is it?" he called out. Silence. Then a voice muffled. "Male. Calm. You don't know me, but I knew Ifeoma. Open the door." Tunde hesitated. If they wanted to kill him, they wouldn't knock. Probably. He cracked the door, revolver hidden behind the frame. A man in a dusty denim jacket stood in the hallway. His eyes were bloodshot but steady. He held up both hands. "Name's Obasi. She told me to find you if anything happened. I have something you're going to want to see." Tunde didn't trust him, not fully, but he let Obasi in. The stranger moved like someone used to being hunted. Quiet, cautious, and always near an exit. Obasi pulled out a weathered notebook from his bag and placed it on the table. Inside were sketches, names, photos, and locations, some familiar, some terrifyingly new. There were references to mining companies, rebel groups, and something called Project Awaken, circled in red. "It started in the 1970s, Obasi said. "The mask was found in a dig site outside Ibadan, but it was taken by private contractors, passed through military hands, then vanished. Turns out it wasn't just art. It was part of a failed military experiment. Something about possession, transference, mind control." Tunde's skin prickled. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. The people trying to bring the mask back into circulation aren't archaeologists. They're businessmen, warlords, and ex-intelligence." Obasi leaned in. And Ifeoma was the last person close to the truth. Until now. The next day, Tunde and Obasi left Kinshasa. They traveled under fake names, using a dusty pickup driven by a teenage boy who barely spoke. The route took them southeast, through Bandundu province, toward the dense interior near the Kasai Central region. At night, they slept in safe houses. During the day, they passed military checkpoints with bribes and whispered names. The deeper they went, the thicker the jungle grew. Cell signals vanished. Roads turned to mud. And Tunde began to dream of Ifeoma again. Standing in the forest, holding the mask, eyes completely black. "We're going to a village called Kabwida," Obasi said one morning. "They say the mask was last used there. Rituals, blood rites, then everyone disappeared." Tunde stared at the endless trees. "And we just walk in?" Obasi grinned grimly. "We ask permission." Kabwida was not on any map. They reached it on foot, through tangled jungle paths and rotting bridges. The village was nearly silent. Mud huts, empty wells, overgrown paths. But someone had been there recently. A trail of footprints, discarded cigarette butts, and the faint smell of kerosene. At the center of the village stood a stone platform etched with symbols matching those in Ifeoma's notes. "This is where the rite happened," Obasi whispered. "They tried to use the mask to summon something. A spirit, a god, maybe just madness." Tunde knelt and placed his hand on the stone. It was warm. Suddenly, a low hum filled the air. Insects went quiet. The jungle held its breath. Then, from the edge of the clearing, a voice. "You shouldn't be here." A woman stepped out, young, barefoot, face painted with ash. "Ifeoma told me you'd come," she said. The woman, who called herself Sifa, took them into a hidden hut behind the village. Inside were clay urns, ritual tools, and an altar covered with bones and candle stubs. "The mask doesn't just carry power," Sifa said. "It carries memory, the memory of everyone who ever wore it. Their pain, their hate, their secrets." She handed Tunde a small wooden charm, carved in the shape of the spiral symbol. "They'll try to stop you, but the mask is calling for justice. And blood, it's already chosen you." Tunde felt a chill ripple through his chest. That night, as he lay under a mosquito net in the corner of the hut, he finally watched the last video on Ifeoma's USB. She was crying. "Don't let them use it again, Tunde. Promise me. Don't let them turn Africa into a weapon." He whispered to the darkness, "I promise." And far in the trees something answered. To be continued.